Today, I would like to talk about how I am making my money with crypto in the most transparent way possible. And if anything, you could say, like, man, you did it, but I can't. You can. It's crypto, it's easy. It's actually not that hard. It's way more hard to just, work at a full-time job and make as much money over there than you do in crypto. So I just would like to explain how I do it. And maybe it will help you a little bit. So if you already feel like I'm gonna like the content, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check out the Patreon down below, and let's get right into it. So I wrote a thread on Twitter, and I would like to go over that a little bit to give you more explanation about what I mean exactly. So I said, man, the altcoin market did a 5x from the bottom, and I at least 10x'd my portfolio so far. Outperforming the market is the goal. So let me share my strategy with you guys. It might help you in this bull market. And what I mean is, if you look at the altcoin market right now, what you actually, I think, want to do, at least it's what I would like to do, is look at the altcoin market and be like, hey, what did it do from the bottom until where we are right now? And it did a 4.5x. I know some did more, some did less. Overall, did a 4.5x, right? So if you look at your altcoin bag and be like, hey, I did 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10x, whatever, then you outperformed the market. And that's not even considering that you exactly bought the bottom, even if you bought it right in the complete accumulation phase, which we are still kind of are right now, by the way, in my opinion. Then you actually outperformed the market by many more times. So then you're doing a great job. If you, for some reason, did like a 2 or a 3x, I would say, man, sell that XRP or Cardano for something else. All right. And look at the stuff that is moving right now. I am extremely proud of how I did it. And I just hope I can help some people. So I've built a solid base for passive income. And that's the trick for me, which I can use to allocate. Well, in the second post on my thread, I already make some spelling errors, but hey, I'm Dutch, whatever. I mean, it takes money to make money. Some sources, Launchpad vestings, notes, YouTube AdSense money, KOL vestings. Yeah, I'm open about that, and I will speak about that more in this video as well. And a Patreon. You will notice that half of the income comes from being a YouTuber, and that's the advantage, or some people even say that's a privilege that other people don't have. Well, get a camera and do the same. That's all I did. That's all I did. What I did is I was in crypto since 2013. I got wrecked. 2017, tried again, got completely wrecked. And then in 2020, 21, I decided, let's buy a camera and let's get wrecked on camera. And it worked out because I was, also that way putting much more time into crypto. And that was really the way for me to gain a lot of experience. So in the deepest, sorry, that's one too far. Apart from that, you want to add value, right? In the bear market, I barely talked about altcoins, and I was more strategy focused because I didn't want to lose credibility for a quick buck. However, I did prepare. A lot of people, they sometimes come at the channel and they say like, well, you missed the bottom. And I was like, nah, yeah, of course, you shouldn't try to time the bottom in the first place. But also, I didn't talk a lot about buying, because the people that were talking about buying here and here, they seem smart, but they were also talking about buying here and here and here and everywhere, basically. And at a certain point, they were right. And now they look like the geniuses. Yeah, of course. Right. But I don't want to be the one that always says like, oh, buy, we'll be okay. Sometimes in crypto, the best thing to do is to not buy. That's just what it is. But I did prepare. In the deepest of the bear market, I accumulated, for example, some Delicium nodes, a Gala film node, a Miriam node, and a big bag of S-Fund, an engine starter, and more Launchpad tokens, and most important, experience. So what I did is I recognized that the market was like very low, and I believed in the long term of the market. So I looked, for example, at CeDeFi, and I was like, this area right here, let's accumulate heavier. Right? And for Web3 Whales, the project that I'm running, we nailed the bottom. It was absolutely crazy. The Fort minus on 50% luck or 10% luck it is, right? Or whatever. Well, in this case, it was maybe a little bit more luck. But I had confidence. I decided to grow a pair of balls and just bought into stuff when it all was very low. Now, could have I bought more back then? Yeah, of course. But you don't want to go too crazy. But first, before I go to the rest of the page right here, I said I have some YouTube AdSense money, KOL vestings, and Patreon. Yes, I decided to. I hate the word influencer, but I decided to just do this on camera, and this helped me and the community. And I want to give a very nice example of that. I posted this video 2 weeks ago. Listen 1 second. There's new projects. One that I think is really interesting is Your. And this is going to release on Downmaker. Now, I talked about Your, and Your came out. The price was a cent, right? 1 cent for 1 token. If we now look what Your is sitting at 40 cents. Did a 40x. Congratulations to those who got in. I am not saying like, whoa, listen to me, I'm so fucking smart. I called something and it went up. I'm a god. I'm like Kanye. Nah, it's like, But the thing is, though, that I now recognize, and I will come back in the thread later, like, hey, you want to be early in crypto. You want to just be early in crypto. And it's some things are obvious. Being early, launchpads, gaming, AI, combine some stuff and there will be some outcomes. And sometimes it seems too obvious. Well, sometimes things are too obvious. People could say like, it's too good to be true and it's too easy. It is crypto. I mean, we are like, if you look at the big crypto picture, fucking early. We are really, really, really early. It's just here for 14 years. That's it. 14 years. Right? If you were there on the internet in the first 14 years, you maybe were, but you got to be involved in everything basically. And still a lot of people were doubting it, right? Now, the benefit for me and the community is that I didn't talk shit on the channel. I never on this channel promoted shit for money, right? I never said to a project like, hey, give me money and I will talk about it, despite that the project sucks, right? Some people, they do that and they lose credibility over that. I never did that. That was a golden rule of the channel. If I love a project, I will talk about it. But if I don't like a project, then why would I talk about it? Right? Like, I'm getting my community wrecked. I'm getting myself wrecked. I lose my credibility. So the bigger projects started to take it more serious. And they were like, hey, we would like to work with you. I just had an interview with Illuvium, for example. That's a project that I felt like, whoa, I'm honored, right? But also, I am now, for example, a KOL for CeDeFi, or ChainGPT, whatever, launchpads, right? And what that means, something very simple. It means they come up with a project, for example, that's going to release on CeDeFi, and I don't get tokens. That's not how it works. Maybe the really big influencers get, and people say like, oh, these influencers are dumping and getting paid and whatever. I don't know how that works. That's not for me. What I get basically is the opportunity to invest a little bit of extra money myself into that project, right? So for example, if I don't know, man. If project A comes out on CeDeFi, then maybe I'll get the opportunity to invest $1,000 extra in the pre-sale for project A, right? Yeah, if I don't like the project, then I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm also not going to invest in it, of course. So it's still my own money that I invest. But therefore, I get into these groups with these projects, I learn from them, get to connect with them, maybe do some interviews with them. And that's really putting me in a position where I learn a lot and where I gain some information that's really valuable to the channel, right? And learn about pre-sales, learn about early opportunities. Therefore, I have some extra vestings, SKOL vestings, but also I get to share knowledge about a YOR, for example, that the community otherwise wouldn't have. And you still made a 40x, so everybody, congratulations in that case, right? Now, what I also do is I felt like, hey, I'm gonna open up a Patreon. I know what Alex Becker, his wallet is, or Elio Trades, or Crypto Got John, or Hussopedia. I have my years in crypto. Some people are new. They would like to maybe have a consult with me one-on-one to talk about their portfolio. They might like to invest in seed or private sales, right? Which they usually don't have access to, and I now have. So that's what I offer, those kind of things in the Patreon. And people, they choose if they want to pay a monthly fee for that, to one, learn, and to get exposure and opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have. It benefits the audience and it benefits me, right? I wouldn't do shit to, just that only benefits me. Very simple. I quit my job for this. And in 2-3 years, I still want to do this. I like what I do. I like being an entrepreneur, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I like it, right? And I want people to know that I'm not bullshitting around and actually teach people stuff and bring them some good calls like Delesium, for example, whatever, right? I want to stay around and I want to do this together. Therefore, I'm working on a strong base to make sure that it's sustainable. And you can do the same. You can do the same. You can gain a lot of knowledge. At a certain point, you might want to share that knowledge, right? So, once you gain enough experience and knowledge, you can create your own community. And as long as you have something valuable to add, this is only helping people. And I'm all up for that, right? So if you want to do that, go do that. Apart from that, this is what I did / do to outperform the market. Understand the market. So if you understand the 4-year cycle, you will be able to position yourself relative close to the bottom of the bear market. And this will pay off in the bull market, right? That's what I preached a lot about on this channel. Like, guys, I can give you the altcoin calls, right? But if you don't know when to buy, when to sell, how to buy, how to sell, then what good are these calls actually, right? And very sometimes I make these calls and people still be like, oh, yeah, fuck you, I want your old shit. Like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to whatever. Sometimes I want to talk about the market. Sometimes I want to talk about the coins that I like. And yeah, it's not like sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, right? But most important stays, you want to understand the cycle, right? We have a 4-year cycle. It moves in certain ways. There are certain indicators that you can use to help you not to whoa, I'm still sick, sorry. To try to time the top, but then again, to sell as close as, to the top as possible, at least. And the other way around as well, to buy back at the bottom. That's what I think is most important. And then, the good coins, they will definitely help you. So this month, so far, I've made 50K for doing nothing. And nothing, I wrote it like this, because I didn't do nothing. Right? What I did is I invested, I researched, I connected, I made a lot of calls. I made sure in the bear market I was putting my something with my I was in the bear market. I made sure that I took a lot of risk basically by buying things when the market looked like shit, like I said, for example, CDFI and that kind of stuff. It was all preparation. And that is paying off right now. So it's not nothing. I did a lot for it. But now I can finally, if I want, I can sit back and make money. right? That's kind of what it is. But that won't last. So you have to keep on building, of course. I understand that crypto is player versus player. Therefore, you want to be early. This is why I talked a lot about launchpads. And I use the passive vesting that comes from it for 4 things. 1, life maintenance. So, if I wake up and I feel like, hey, I need to pay my mortgage or whatever, instead of going to my work, this is my work, I can claim my tokens, I can sell them, I can pay my mortgage, right? Or food or whatever. 2, add to my cash back, basically, because we are in a bull market. But bull markets are kind of notorious for having 30-40% pullbacks. And apart from that, there are no guarantees in crypto. Okay, so it could all, like, of course, we have the 4-year cycle, and so far it is intact, right? But hey, it could be that somehow everything goes to shit. We get a big recession, the war breaks out, everything, zombie apocalypse, I don't know, everything goes to shit. Yeah, then you don't want to be fully into crypto because crypto is the most volatile thing out there and you're going to get yourself completely wrecked. 3, DCA into quality projects. So apart from these launch pads and things, I also have a bag of crypto that I really like. And there are some good projects out there that I think that if we continue with the bull market, these projects could be higher than where they are right now. And 4, more pre-sales to grow my passive stack. Right? That's the thing. And that kind of lines up with this. A lot of people, for example, they say Seedify or insert any launchpad nowadays is too expensive. And I only get like maybe $50 allocation. But bro, where do you think that I started? It's not that I went into Seedify like, hey, I somehow found $100,000 right there, buy the highest Seedify tier, and I can allocate like thousands of dollars in every project. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Okay. I started off very low as well. And like I said right here, it takes money to make money. That $50 could turn into 500, that 500 into 5,000, etc. And someday, maybe you will hit the jackpot, right? That's the thing. Like if you have $50 allocation and you put it in a project that does a 10x, you have 500, right? Take that money, get a slightly higher tier or whatever, and the next project you can maybe invest $100. If that does a 10x, nice. You have like it compounds. It compounds at a certain point, right? But it doesn't happen overnight. So at a certain point, you will be able to invest more. That's where I am right now. For example, I love the potential of the Yours token, right? So that's what we talked about. I saw the token and I felt like, okay, this is a project that if it succeeds, it succeeds, if you know what I mean. So I invested 3K in it. If I were here like 2 years ago, I wasn't even able to invest anything probably. And if I did, maybe like $20, $50. It did a 40x. Okay. Now, 40x, if you only have $20 and you make 40x, that 40x is still a 40x, right? Doesn't matter. But now with me, 3K, hey, that's a good amount of money, right? And this adds up if you have 30 or 40 of these investments running. And sometimes you lose. Fuck it. No pain, no gain. I have an Excel sheet of all the projects that I invested in. And it's like 40 investments something, and probably 30 that still have to come out, and this will be way more. And on average, I invested like maybe 2-3K per project, right? They will not all do a 20, 30, 40x. Some will go to shit. Some will just do a boring 2 till 5x. Right? And you have vestings, right? So maybe it does well, and then when your vesting comes, the price goes down and you end up with a simple 3x or so. But hey, it compounds. So I take that money and put it into the next pre-sale. And now I'm getting money from there, right? And I don't have to get a lot from there because I'm getting a little bit from everywhere. And that's a lot as well. That's kind of how it works, if you ask me. And that's the best way to actually do it. Now, what I didn't add to this tweet, but what's very important is, and that's going back to understanding the market, at a certain point, you don't want to make these early investments anymore, right? Why? Well, very simple. If you look at the last, bull market, if you were making early investments here and you got your vesting here, man, you made so much money, right? But if you made your early investments here and the bear market came, most of the projects that you invested in went to complete shit. So my theory is still the 4-year cycle, right? The 4-year cycle is still intact. And of course, there are always things a little different. People say, no, we broke above the 618 and we made a new high before the halving. Yeah, but bro, I mean, last cycle, we did from the bottom, we did a 4.5x on Bitcoin, basically. And that didn't happen in the cycle before that. So that was also different, right? So every cycle has its different features. But time-wise, you can only say that it's different if we really top out before the end of 2025, actually. Right, so it's too early to say if it's different. So therefore, I'm thinking it would be really stupid to bet against all the history we have. Therefore, I think, quarter, take some room, right? Quarter 2, 3, 2025, it's when I prefer to get out of the market. So when it comes to that, it's now March 2024. So let's say we have 1.5 years. Now it's good to make these early investments, right? Because usually these vestings happen within a year or so. But at the end of 2024, I'm not going to invest in a project that has a 2-year vesting. Right? Because if that happens all the way to end of 2026, that's in the middle of a bear market probably. So you want to think a little ahead of that. So at a certain point, I will get most of my money invested this and next year probably. And what I'm going to do is, well, like I said right here, just put it in here. But at a certain point, DCA into quality projects even more, right? Because in the real bull market years like 2021, or 2017, the altcoin market goes up like crazy. But look at how hard it went up and how hard it went down. Right? It was crazy. There's not even the altcoin chart, but in a matter of a couple of weeks, Bitcoin crashed with 70%. So you want to have your money a little liquid by then. That's, in my opinion, best. Now, it's still all very speculative. The reward simply cannot be that high if there is no major risk to it. So don't get greedy and cash out every now and then. The altcoin market always makes new highs so far, but who knows what happens this time, right? So what I'm trying to say is Bitcoin only going up, right? Only makes new highs. On a macro scale, Bitcoin is in a chronicle bull market, basically. The altcoin market is the same, right? We had the altcoin market, we had a high right here, we had a new high right here, we had a new high right here. We're about to make a new high, probably. But what if, right? I don't want to bet against on logic, but you want to be a little prepared for it, okay? What if the market somehow crashes to shit? You don't want to be there. You don't want to fully be there, of course. I don't mean sell everything that you have right now. That would be unwise as well. But I'm saying hey, for example, like I said, I'm building my cash bag, right? I also put money on my bank account. Very simple. People that banks, they suck. I know. I don't know if I told this story lately, but I had to make some expenses, and at the end of the day, I felt a little tired. Let's just order a simple pizza. And my bank said you reached your max spending limit. You cannot spend any money today. I was like, what? But what? What? This is my money. Why are you going to decide if I can spend my money or not? That's so fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If I want to choose to buy a fucking 100 pizzas in one day, that's my choice. It's not someone at the bank that decides like you. What if I need it? What if it was like, it's ridiculous. So, nah, the banking system is, and that's just one example. The banking system is fucked up, really fucked up. Nevertheless, it's safer than Bitcoin. Okay. If you have your money in dollars or euros, it's guaranteed that it will lose value. It's guaranteed. 100%. Right? Why? I mean, even if you're putting in a savings account and you get like maybe, I don't know, 2% a year, you don't get 2% a year. Look at the inflation. The dollar is worth way less than what it is right now. If you wanted to buy I don't know, man, look at your grocery store. That's not what it's about. But it's still safer than crypto because there is a higher chance that Bitcoin crashes with 80% in a week than that your bank crashes 80% in a week. Although it happens, but chances are not really big. So I just want to make it clear that even though crypto is super rewarding, yeah, if it was super rewarding and super safe, that would be a little weird, right? Now, it cannot be super safe and super rewarding. It has to be fucking risky. And like I said, it is player versus player, okay? Remind that at all times. Everybody looks at these charts and be like, whoa, it's going up and we're going to cash out here and everybody gets rich. It's that simple. Of course it is not, right? Of course it's not. Therefore, crypto always does what you don't expect. Maybe we don't go up. Maybe we just go down from here. People get wrecked, right? Why? Because again, it's player versus player. If you feel like, hey, it's going here and I'm selling here, you are selling it to someone who's buying it, right? And if it goes down from there, the one that buys gets wrecked. And be honest, that was us probably, less bull markets, right? Now we want to be the ones that feel like, hey, I need some exit liquidity. Now we were already here. And now we need people that will buy up here. Simple as that. A lot of people will get wrecked in crypto. That's just how it works, right? You cannot all win. It's not that there's suddenly more money. Now the money just goes from there to there to there. And your job is to make sure that the money that's there goes to you. Very simple. Very simple. But that's how I make my money in crypto. I have my vestings, I have my lunch pads, and I run my community. I try to add value to the YouTube channel. So please like the video. That really helps me a lot. I appreciate that. I have my notes running. Right? And these were all investments that I felt like, hey, it could have gone to shit when I bought it. Like maybe the crypto market didn't came back. Maybe it was all too speculative. And luckily it did. And it's nice as long as it lasts. I believe that crypto is here to stay. Definitely. It won't go away. But will it be so easy to keep on making money in every bull market and to just keep on predicting the 4-year cycle? I mean, as long as people don't know about it and you are the one that does, then it is. But more and more people start to learn about it. Okay, so sorry for adding to that. But that's how I'm doing it. Make sure that you, and like, again, before I did this, I had a job, right? And I still understand that there are people that have jobs and we need that. So even if you have a regular job, great. It's even better, right? Because even if this goes to shit, you still have that. It's incredible. And that's also a passive, not passive, but that's also a disposable income that you probably have. So that's it for today. In the next video, I would like to explain a couple of indicators that I'm going to use to get the fuck out of this market. Okay? So at a certain point, we're going to talk about selling. Right? Very simple, because at a certain point you have to sell. I already would like to show you the indicators, some indicators and some very simple specific charts that I will use to help me decide when I should get out of the market. So if you feel like, okay, I'm excited for that, stay tuned, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.